Today, we're going to talk about something really special, the art of VR storytelling. And no, this isn't just about a cool new gadget. We're talking about a complete reimagination of what a story can be, a whole new art form with a language all its own. And it all boils down to one simple question.
I mean, really think about that for a second. For pretty much all of human history, stories are things we've consumed from the outside, right? We watch them, we read them. Well, VR smashes that wall. It's moving way beyond just being for games and is becoming a space for stories that you don't just see, but that you feel.
So here's the plan. We'll kick things off with what makes these stories so different. Then we'll get into the pillars of immersion, check out some amazing worlds you can actually live in, and meet the people making them. After that, we'll peek into the wild, unscripted future with AI, and I'll tell you exactly where you can find all this stuff.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that VR felt like a bunch of tech demos. Cool, but kind of gimmicky. Well, those days are over. VR has seriously grown up. It's now a mature medium for telling really complex, powerful stories that are totally blurring the line between what's real and what's not.
And this right here is the absolute key. In a movie, you follow a character's journey. But in a great VR story, that journey is happening to you. You're not just a passive observer anymore. You are an active participant. You're not just seeing through someone's eyes. You are literally in their shoes, making their choices.
So how does that even work? Well, to get it, we have to understand the new rules, the new grammar of VR narrative. There are a couple of core ideas, these pillars, that make it totally different from anything that's come before. Let's dive in.
Okay, first up, and this is the big one. Presence. This is the secret sauce. It's the magic trick VR plays on your brain, that deep down feeling that you are actually physically there. Your brain is basically hacked into believing you've been teleported, and everything else is built on top of that feeling.
And then you have agency. This is your power to actually do stuff in the world. And this is so important, because it's not just about pushing buttons. When your choices actually matter, when they change the story, you feel like you're a co-author. And that connection you feel is just way deeper than anything you get from just watching. This chart really nails the difference. On the one hand, you've got passive 360 video. You're basically a floating camera, a ghost. The story happens around you. But in true interactive VR, you are a character. The story happens to you. Critics of an experience called Human Within actually pointed this out. Its 360-degree flashbacks made you feel stuck, and it kind of broke the spell, pulling you out of the story. Alright, so that's the theory. But what happens when amazing creators really nail those pillars of presence and agency? Well, you get stories that you don't just watch, you truly inhabit. Let's check out a couple of recent award winners that show just how powerful this can be.
Let's start with a really moving one called A Long Goodbye. It's an experience built around empathy, and it explores the difficult subject of dementia. And this review, I think, just perfectly captures its heart. So, imagine this. You step into the body of Ida, a 72-year-old woman, and your agency, your ability to touch old photographs, to listen to tape recordings, that's what makes the story happen. As you interact with these objects from her past, her memories literally paint themselves into existence around you, like these gorgeous watercolor animations. You're the one putting the pieces of her life back together.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The art world is paying attention. A Long Goodbye picked up the Achievement Prize at the Venice Immersive Festival, which is a huge deal. It's really cemented its place as a landmark piece of storytelling.
Now for something totally different but just as mind-blowing. It's called The Clouds Are 2,000 Meters Up. And get this, it's a visual translation of a Taiwanese short story that literally lets you walk through the pages of the book. I mean, how cool is that?
And unsurprisingly, it has been cleaning up on the festival circuit. It took home the grand prize at Venice Immersive, won other huge awards. It just goes to show that VR is opening up completely new ways for us to experience things we already love, like literature.
Of course, these incredible worlds don't just magically appear. They're built by visionary artists, by pioneers who are literally writing the rulebook for this brand new medium as they go.
You've got directors like Kate Vogt and Victor Mays who are showing that VR can be a powerful empathy machine. You've got visionaries like Singing Chin turning books into places. And then you have whole studios like Maze Theory who are letting us finally step inside worlds like Doctor Who that we've only ever dreamed of visiting. They're all trailblazers.
So, if that's what's happening now, where are we headed? Well, hold on tight, because the next frontier is already here, and it's generative AI. This is about to completely change the game for how we interact with characters, making stories feel truly alive.
This quote from Mashable about an experiment called Fabula Rasa just says it all. Forget picking from a list of 3 dialogue options. Imagine just talking into your headset and having a character understand you, remember your last conversation, and reply with something totally new, not something from a script.
I mean, the difference is just night and day. On the left, you have what we're used to. Basically, a robot that gives you quests and has 0 memory. On the right, you have an AI-powered participant that feels, well, real. It's the difference between interacting with a puppet and having a genuine conversation partner.
And this isn't science fiction, it's happening. In the upcoming VR experience for the book, Project Hail Mary, the relationship you build with the alien, Rocky, isn't scripted. It comes from you two actually working together, from your conversations. You're not watching a friendship happen. You're the one building it, piece by piece.
All right, so you're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold. This sounds incredible, but where do I find it? Well, the good news is these worlds are closer than you think.
A lot of these amazing stories are right there on consumer headsets, on stores like MetaQuest or Steam. But also keep an eye on the big film and arts festivals like Venice or Sundance. That's often where the really groundbreaking stuff shows up first. And more, you'll see museums and galleries hosting awesome immersive exhibits.
So let's just end on this thought. This technology is so much more than just a new form of entertainment. It's a new way to understand each other, to explore new ideas, and to feel what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes. As this art form keeps growing, the most exciting question isn't what new stories will we see, it's who will we become when we're inside them.